All right, here we are. Roll reveal number 470. This is a 1951S tubed roll. Here it is right here. Gonna get it open and check and see what the coins look like on the inside, because I have never been inside this roll. And this one is taped shut. Let me see if I can peel the tape. If I can't peel the tape quickly, I do have my knife. Very handy. Nope. Tape just disintegrates when you try to take it off of a roll. I wish people would quit using Scotch tape to hold rolls together. Or at least put a flag on the end. I need to do that as a matter of education for people. Alright, there we are. 1951S now out and operational. Let's take a look and see what we got. Coin number 1, Yo Man. Yo Man comes up first on this 1951S roll. And looks like I got a bit of a busted up die here with a funky mint mark look. I got no doubling on the obverse on this coin. 51S is one of the ones that isn't really known for double die reverses. We're mainly looking for repunch mint marks in this roll. That or high grade coins. And so there is coin number 1 for Yo Man. Through a 1951S roll, I will be looking at every coin on the obverse, but on the reverse it would only be the first 10 coins. There's an RPM. Splitting the lower serif down there. Nice looking RPM. This one has a heavy die scratch out of the 9 of the date. Very nice coin. I'll check the reverse here real quick. Okay, nothing on the reverse. This one is for Stanley. It's coin number 2, so we're going to keep that one out. And here is okay, I will pass Malcolm's email address to Parviz. Coin number 3 has a few hits on the mint mark, but it's not an RPM. And on the other side, nothing. That's Penny Hoarder. Now coin number 4. This one for Carl. And what do we have here? Yeah, I'm kind of going with a no on this one. It looks more like die wear than an RPM. Check for other stuff on the obverse here. Flip it over real quick. Look at the reverse. No doubling. Now number 5 for Yo Man. Yo Man. Well, that one looks like that's an RPM. It's a later dice date, but it's definitely an RPM, and one of the pretty big ones too. You can see how thick this is over here. This is a part of another curve, and it actually underlaps and goes under here. The lower serif is very long. The upper serif is very long. This is one of the nicest of the 1951S RPMs. The only problem is, well, this one's pretty late die state. It's a little hard to make out completely, but it is there. And check the reverse on this. Kind of like 99% that it's not going to be an double die reverse, but I'll check anyway. And this one for Yeoman, really nice RPM. It's coin number 5. Now number 6. Back to penny hoarder. There's one of those for penny hoarder. Coin number 6 here has a very hefty RPM that's very difficult to make out. Let's open up coppercoins.com. Take a look real quick. I'll go to the die variety search and hit 1951. San Francisco mint marks. Hit enter. And I believe we could easily have RPM number 8 here. Let's check the LDS photos for marker info. Well, I do have a die crack on the 9, but that's going to be pretty common. This one shows a die crack running along the entire length of the vest. So let's bring it over here. I have a die crack running across, but not down. Let's check the face. Well, I don't see any of the die scratches that are on the face of the coin in question of the die listed, so it's probably not that die. So let's keep looking. Well, I'm not seeing it unless it's number 1 here. Check for number 1 and see if we find it. Could possibly be number 1. It's a later version of it, but I'm not thinking that's true because the tail looks very different. The mint mark position looks a little different as well. Let me move on down with the listing and see what we see. Okay, these scratches here in the middle of the throat, I'm going to look for those here real quick. Nope, don't have those. We're going to have to identify this one later. This one's too late die state for me to really pick out what it is right now, but it is an RPM. And so this one will go to penny hoarder. Hello, Tim. It's an RPM. It's a nice one. It's just really hard for me to pick out which one it is. I think that one could be damage on the mint mark. I don't think this one is an RPM. Let me flip it to the other side. I got those rolls shipped out to you yesterday, Tim. Alright, got nothing there. Number 8, Carl. Yeah, nothing on this one. Yes, RPMs do have some value. It depends on which one, though. It depends on how scarce they are. Depends on how popular they are. Sometimes it just kind of depends on the date and the mint mark. Generally, uncirculated RPMs, when you can find a decent uncirculated RPM from the wheat years, you're talking about a coin that's worth anywhere between $10 and $50. circulated RPMs, usually $10 or less. On the memorial pennies, uncirculated ones are typical. They're typically going to be $5 to $7, and the circulated ones usually less than $1 a piece. We're just talking very general terms, very general numbers. Of course, it actually matters what die number it is, whether it's a year more people collect. So a lot of things matter. Okay, this is that RPM that I was looking at in the very beginning. Coin number 2 was one of these. This one is coin number 10, belongs to Sissy. It is the same die as coin number 2. It's got that very heavy die scratch running north from the 9. It has a very nicely split lower serif. It's also a pretty decent early mid die state condition for the die. Means it's pretty sharp, pretty nice. And that one is going to go to Sissy. That's coin number 10. 11 now to Carl. So we're finding two different RPMs in this roll. One of them should be relatively immediately identifiable once you find the right listing for it. The other could be quite a bit more difficult because the other one is a very late die state. I can tell by the width of the mint mark letter that it is an RPM. However, not a whole lot else is helping. Here's one for Crispy. Coin number 12 for Crispy. And this is apparently another one. It's hard to tell sometimes here. No, the die crack's not the same. Check the head. Nope, die cracks are not the same. This one's a different die. I am not prepared to call this an RPM. I just don't see enough there. So this one, and all those like it, are going to be passed by during the show. Get Eric to take a look at them later and see what he thinks. Here's another one for Sissy. This is another one of those RPMs. The thing about, no, this isn't the same. This is a different die altogether. And the lower mint mark is hit on this one, so it's hard to tell if this one has a split in the lower serif. I don't really see anything anywhere else. This is an earlier die state coin. However, the markers are different on this one than on the RPM that we've been pulling out. So this is a different die. 1mm2 is with the die scratch coming out of the 9. Okay. Next one I get, we'll actually look it up. See if you're right. As I suspect you likely are. Got nothing on that one. Number 15. Brian. We're a little bit darker in color. Nothing there. $16. Crispy. That's one of them. Okay, so let's look it up. I'm going to see if I can match it up first. 1951S RPM 2. No. No, definitely not the same die. Yeah, I don't even think I want to try this one right now because, well, I'm not seeing it for sure for easy, and that means it's going to be a little tougher to figure out, which means I'm not even going to give it a shot. But it is definitely not 1mm2. 1mm2 has a scratch coming off the top of the 1, not the top of the 9. And the doubling on the mint mark is completely different. So it's not 1mm2. The only thing we're looking at here is a very nice split lower serif. That's it. We're not looking at all that stuff to the east of the mint mark that's on number 2. But here is most of the doubling is right here, this extra serif. So that's what that is. And this one's for crispy. And so we will pull this one and put it in the stack for crispy. Number 17 now. Number 17 goes to Mr. Fletcher. And Mr. Fletcher, well, this is the other RPM that we're looking at. It's way extra thick right out here. It's extra thick right up here. And it appears to have elongated serifs at both ends, so it looks like a S over S rotated. But it's very difficult to try to get any ID on this. There's another line up there next to the 5, between the 9 and the 5. And here further you can see what looks like a big notch in the top of the upper serif and a big notch or a stretch in the lower serif. So this is definitely an RPM. It's just a much later die state. It's very hard to determine which one it is. But we are pulling these out. To look back upon. See if we can get a good ID for them. Here's number 18 now. Number 18, Mr. Birchman. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything there. You guys been noticing the videos popping up on the YouTube channel for albums that are coming up for auction on Tuesday? Going to be a big night for people buying partial sets that have really nice coins in them. It's going to be a big night for that. It's coming up Tuesday. And Sunday, we will have a regular auction. We're going to be paying some tribute to the Queen and the money that she was on. Doing some Canadian coins and paper. There's another strange looking one. It's not an RPM though. Alright, that's number 20. Hello, Carl. 21 now for Parvas. Okay, this was one that showed up early. It's got a gouge sticking out of the bottom of the S mint mark. It is not an RPM. 22, Mr. Birchman. Oh, another one. Just a normal coin. Now number 23. Crispy. What do we get for Crispy? That one is another normal one. Hello, Stanley. Good evening, sir. This one goes with number 23 now. 24. Techstar. Okay, this is another one of the ones that has... Let's see, no it isn't. This is the copycat. This one is a regular coin that appears to be one of the ones with the split lower serif RPM, but it does not have the split lower serif RPM. Nice earlier die state coin, however, it is not a die variety. Yeah, Carl, just a few. Nothing earth-shattering. We found a couple of different things. This is one of them. No, this isn't it. It's a different die. There's two of them that have that something going on next to the 5, and this is not the one. It's the other die that looks something like this one. I am concerned and sure that it is likely an RPM. But because it is in such late die state, it is very difficult to see the separation. So we'll have to do this one by braille. Attribution by feel, right? Okay, what's this one? This is another one of our copycat coins, copycats in RPM that we are finding in this roll, but this is not one of them. And that's for Mr. Patillo. Coin number 26, now 27 for Eric. And another normal coin. This one's got some striation to it, like a wood grain appearance. Let's see, what else do we have here? Number 28, Malcolm. For Malcolm, this is the one that's got the gouge below the S, so it is not an RPM. But you can see that gouge. Yeah, to look at it at special angles. Here it is at the special angle that shows the gouge is running below the S. Gosh, they're kind of shallow, but it got really deep die scratches higher up. And it is another normal coin. It's for Malcolm, now number 29. I've been kicking it, running extra hard the last number of days, working on inventory and such, and given that, I'm kind of worn out today. This one's not an RPM. Here's number 30. And Tim, when I looked, I didn't see anything that matched. So I'm just kind of letting it sit until we can figure out what it is at some point later. This one is an RPM. I may have seen another one or two in the roll, but this is the first one that actually shows up as definitely an RPM. It's pretty large split on the lower serif there. Nice little split lower serif. Yeah, I don't like looking up die varieties while I'm doing the show because there's so many things that go into it and it takes so long to do. I like trying to keep the timing down on the shows as much as I can so that we can fit more shows into less space. So when it comes to something I can't really identify right on screen, we just hang on to it until later to look at. And most of the more minor ones I'm not going to be able to identify right as we're looking through them, especially in dates that I don't look at on a very regular basis. 1951S is kind of expensive. I don't open them often. This one is not an RPM. A few little Larry spots. It's for Raymond. Number 33. That's the copycat die again. Not an RPM, but it certainly looks close to one that we were finding RPMs. Anyone who gets this particular die is going to like it because the fields on the obverse are nearly proof-like. Really nice looking. Okay, here's one for Mark. Well, it's another one of the same die again. This area up here, up in front of the forehead, is like really shiny. You'll see it when you get your coins. I wish I could say I felt better. Let's see. Yeah, nothing on this one. Forgive me, folks, as I kind of just, I guess, meander my way through this. I'm not doing very well right now. I get this way once in a while. I'm just not feeling well. Let's see, there's coin number 35, now number 36. Gonna go to Mr. Fletcher this time around. Let's see what Mr. Fletcher gets. There's another one of our copycat coins here. Not an RPM. That one's from Mr. Fletcher. And number 37, Malcolm. Here's one for Malcolm. Fine with a coin. Hey, this one's got the strong RPM on it. It's got a hump between the 9 and the 5 of the date right there. And that's is what it is, right? It's later dice day. It's really hard to make out. Lost my phone camera. Oh. Well, it won't come back on. Well, sorry about that. I'll just have to tell you who all these are for going forward. It's the best I can do. I don't know what's wrong with that camera. 38's for Ant. This is number 38. This is that one that's got the screwed up top to the mint mark. I haven't been able to figure out exactly what it was. Yeah, my camera quit on me. It's real hot. I think it overheated. Something. It may not be a good idea. To have that. I don't remember what the... Okay, I do remember what this was now. I'm slowing down by the moment. A huge storm. We're having some minor finds, a few things. The 44D roll that I tried to do was lacquer coated. So I put that roll away and got a different one of mine, out of the closet, and it didn't have anything in it, but it was a decent clean roll. I mean, I had to give money back on 4 of the coins, and then this one's the 51S that we just opened after that. We got 2 different RPMs and something else. I can't remember what it was now. There's one of the RPMs, this one here. It's very late die state, very difficult to tell what it is, but it's a nice RPM. I mean, it's very thick. I can see that it's an RPM. So this one's for Paul Hampton. The other one that we're finding is a slightly more minor RPM, but it's on a much earlier die state coin. It shows very clean cut in the lower left corner of the mint mark at the serif. The other one is a later die state, and I probably run across a couple of them before, but they weren't very obvious as being RPMs, but that one was. So it's like this. It's really hard to tell if that's an RPM. So I think I'm going to stop broadcasting after this one. I feel like my blood sugar is going nuts on me. And so for some reason, just not doing so well today. I woke up from a nap to do this. I probably should have just stayed in the nap. This is another one of the copycat dies. So this one's got a really nice fresh field, but it doesn't have an RPM or double die. I'm just trying to stay upright right now. Just trying to keep my stuff. Well, there we go. There's another one of the copycats. Yeah, Sandigger, if I drink a Mountain Dew right now, I'd probably go into a coma. Don't need that. Stay away from sugar. Parviz. And this one's for Parviz. And this one's going to be one of the normal coins. Yeah, kind of hot, flashy. Cottonmouth, very thirsty. Head's kind of swimmy. Sleepy, just feeling. I mean, it's not a nauseating feeling. It's just like it'd be really nice to be laying down right now feeling. Let's see. There's nothing on this one. It's got a couple of spots on it too. It's not the best coin in the world. Not very exciting. At least I'm honest. Number 46. This one's for Eric. Let's see what Eric comes out with here. See if we can get him through this and the storms and everything. This one's going to turn out to be normal too. No, Tim, I'm not. And now 47. Raymond Longy. This is one with the gouge below the S. It'll turn out to be nothing special, unfortunately. It's another 51S Lincoln. That's what Chuck said earlier. He was happy to get one for his book. A lot of people are missing 1951S, actually. It's not a very easy one to come by. Not one of the easiest, anyway. You're very, very unlikely to find these in, like, AU-BU mix. Here we go. There's another one of the third RPM for the roll. Third RPM for the roll has this little split in the lower serif. It's not been showing up very well for all the coins, so I could accidentally have missed one or two of them. This only makes the second one that I've found in this roll. So that's number 48. And now, number 49. Here goes the flip for number 50 out of the way. Doesn't matter anyway because you can't see them. 49 goes to Taco John. Taco John will get number 49. 49 has a little issue on the reverse. It is not an RPM. And the issue on the reverse looked like something I'd probably refund him for, but let's check. It's just not pretty. There's nothing pretty about that coin, so I'm going to go ahead and put Taco John number 49 down as a giving back. And this is 470. All right, and now coin number 50, the last coin, and this roll goes to Malcolm. And here is Malcolm's coin. It's another one of those, just like the one Taco John just got, but it's a much nicer looking coin. Much nicer looking BU 1951S Lincoln cent. Nothing superbly special here, just a nice one. And that's all I got for this roll, boys and girls. I think I'm going to take the doctor's advice and go kind of take it easy for a while. If I can get myself to a point where I'm ready to do this last reveal, I'll take care of it this evening. Otherwise, I will be out today and back in tomorrow. Perhaps tomorrow will be a much better day for me. I get these days once in a while. It's nothing that I'm afraid of. It's just that I probably need to take a little bit of a rest shot. Yeah, one of those. All right. There we go. How many can I see? I'm going to count these out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different Diveretti coins in this roll that we found. I'm going to say that's a pretty good day. All right. Well, I'm not going to get any sicker. It's not going to get worse. It's just that my performance gets worse, and I just can't tend to focus or concentrate or think or speak or anything. I end up basically kind of, it's almost like falling asleep while you're doing the job, and I kind of lose. I lose my situational awareness, like, I don't know, 2 seconds out of every minute, and I kind of pop back in and look around and realize I don't know what I just said, so I hope it wasn't anything bad. Let's keep moving. And it's just like, it's like that, and it goes through that for 20-30 minutes, and then I get better sometimes. Right now I think I just need a big glass of water and a good rest out for a while, so I think I'll do that. And I will I'm going to reschedule this other show. We've got the auction tomorrow at 7. Tomorrow at 7 will be the auction, and so probably tomorrow at 5 I'll do this last review and get this finished and done. About 5 o'clock tomorrow. Maybe a little earlier than that. I don't know. It depends. Be watching for it just about any time tomorrow. It's going to be a 39S. I'm going to leave it where it is for right now. Then I'll just come in and I'll do it tomorrow when I get to that point. But I appreciate it. Thank you guys for your patience and your kindness. And I will be out now and see you tomorrow.